What if the man who once played the fastest kid in time spent the rest of his life racing against something he could never outrun? What if every tremor, every fall, every forgotten line slowly became part of something bigger, not just survival, but a mission to change the future of millions? Because that's not a movie plot. That's real life, and it belongs to Michael J. Fox. His story isn't just about fame, success, or even illness. It's about something deeper, something most people don't understand until life forces them to. It's about defiance. The boy who became Hollywood's brightest star. Before the diagnosis, before the headlines, before the struggle, there was just a young boy from Canada chasing something simple, the dream of becoming an actor. Michael J. Fox didn't look like the typical Hollywood leading man. He wasn't tall, imposing, or traditionally heroic in appearance. But what he had was something far more powerful: energy. Not just normal energy, but a kind that pulled people in. Fast, sharp, charismatic. The kind of presence that made you feel like something exciting was always about to happen. That energy made him unforgettable in Family Ties. It turned him into a global icon in Back to the Future. And more importantly, it made audiences feel like they weren't just watching a character. They were experiencing life through him. By the late 1980s, he wasn't just successful. He was everywhere. Movies, television, interviews, awards. His life looked almost perfect from the outside. But behind that success, something had already begun. The first sign that changed everything. It didn't start dramatically. There was no big moment, no warning, just a small twitch in his finger. At first, it felt easy to ignore. Maybe stress, maybe exhaustion, maybe just overwork from a demanding career. But the twitch stayed. And then came the moment that changed everything. In 1991, at just 29 years old, at the absolute peak of his career, Michael J. Fox was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, a progressive neurological condition. No cure, no way to stop it. For someone whose entire identity was built on movement, timing, and expression. It was devastating. Living two lives at once. What makes his story even more powerful is what happened next. He didn't tell the world. For years, Michael J. Fox lived two completely different lives. On screen, he remained the same energetic, quick, confident performer audiences loved. But off-screen, everything was changing. He was managing symptoms, adjusting medications, hiding tremors, and constantly adapting to a body that was slowly becoming unpredictable. Imagine performing in front of millions while secretly losing control over the very thing that made you who you are. For nearly a decade, he carried that burden alone. Until 1998. That's when he made a decision that changed everything, not just for himself, but for millions of people around the world. He went public. The moment that turned pain into purpose. When he revealed his diagnosis, something unexpected happened. The world didn't pull away. It came closer. For the first time, Parkinson's disease wasn't just a clinical term people heard about in hospitals or textbooks. It had a face, a voice, a story people could connect with. And instead of stepping back, Michael J. Fox stepped forward. He didn't just raise awareness, he created a mission. The foundation that changed the future. In 2000, he founded the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research, not as a symbolic gesture, but as a serious effort to accelerate scientific progress. And over time, that mission grew into something extraordinary. The foundation has now raised over $2 billion for Parkinson's research and continues to fund groundbreaking studies, clinical trials, and new treatment developments. But what makes this even more powerful is his belief. He doesn't just support research. He believes in an ending. He has openly said that he believes Parkinson's could be eliminated within the next few decades. Not controlled, not managed, erased. That's not blind optimism. That's a man who has dedicated his life to making that future possible. The disease that took and gave. Michael J. Fox has never tried to make Parkinson's sound easy. He has described it as brutal, unpredictable, and relentless. But at the same time, he has also said something that surprises people. That it gave him something. Perspective. Purpose. Clarity. Instead of letting the disease define him, he used it to redefine his life. He shifted from chasing success to creating impact, from building a career to building a legacy. Even today, he continues to speak openly about his condition, not hiding the struggles, but also not letting them silence him. The return no one expected. In 2020, he stepped away from acting, not because he wanted to, but because Parkinson's made it increasingly difficult to memorize lines and maintain performance consistency. For many, that would have been the end, but not for him. In 2026, Michael J. Fox made a surprising return to television with a role in the series Shrinking. And this time, it wasn't just acting. He played a character living with Parkinson's. It wasn't polished, it wasn't exaggerated. It was real, raw, honest, deeply personal, and audiences felt it immediately. This wasn't just a performance, it was lived experience being shared with the world. Still standing, still showing up. Even now, after more than 3 decades of living with Parkinson's, Michael J. Fox continues to show up. In 2026, he appeared at a major awards event, walking carefully onto the stage. Every step was deliberate, every movement carried effort. But when he spoke, the room stood. Not out of politeness, but out of respect. Because everyone understood what they were witnessing. Not just an actor, but a man who refused to disappear. The moment that shocked the world. In April 2026, something unusual happened. A major media outlet mistakenly published content that made it seem like Michael J. Fox had passed away. For a brief moment, confusion spread. But the truth quickly followed. He was alive, still active, still working, still fighting. And in a strange way, that moment revealed something powerful. People weren't just following his career anymore. They were emotionally connected to his journey. The man behind the mission. Through everything, success, diagnosis, setbacks, one constant has remained in his life. His family. His wife, Tracy Pollan, and their children have been a steady presence, supporting him through every stage of his journey. Because Parkinson's doesn't just affect one person, it affects everyone around them. And Michael J. Fox has never pretended to fight this battle alone. Where he stands today, 2026. Today, Michael J. Fox continues to balance multiple roles at once. He remains involved in selective acting projects, continues leading one of the most influential research foundations in the world, and actively supports scientific advancements aimed at ending Parkinson's disease. At the same time, he continues speaking publicly, sharing his experiences, and pushing for policy changes that support patients and accelerate research efforts. But beyond all of that, he continues to do something simple and incredibly powerful. He shows up. The truth most people don't understand. When people think about strength, they imagine something loud. Big achievements, big victories, big moments. But Michael J. Fox represents a different kind of strength. The quiet kind. The kind that wakes up every day knowing things may get harder and choosing to move forward anyway. That's not something you learn from movies. That's something you learn from life. The ending that hasn't been written yet. Michael J. Fox's story isn't finished, not even close, because his mission goes far beyond himself now. He's fighting for millions of people living with Parkinson's. People who need better treatments, better understanding, better hope. And if he's right, if Parkinson's can truly be eliminated in the coming decades, then his story won't just be remembered as inspiring. It will be remembered as the moment everything started to change. And maybe the most powerful part of this story is, it's still being written. Not in movies, not on a script, but in real life, every single day. So if this reminded you what real strength actually looks like, make sure you stick around for more stories like this, because sometimes the most important battles are the ones no one sees. If you want to be smarter every day, like and subscribe.